Hey everybody, I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know what, today is day 5. Is it day 5? Wow, day 5 already. 25 days of Christmas. That's right. So, again, we're going a little bit on the dark side here today. We're going to talk about a more modern zombie film. But before we do that, so zombie films in the modern form have been around since 1968, when George Romero, came up with the idea that, cadavers, corpses, dead bodies would rise and become zombies. Before that, it was pretty much voodoo zombies, which were people that their minds were enslaved, and they were being told what to do by the power of suggestion. But since 1968, we've had a slew of zombie films. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Zombie, Return of the Living Dead, the Dawn of the Dead. Then you get to the 2000s, and it's like in the 1990s, there were a few zombie films, but more likely, they really did, venture off into nothingness. And then in the early 2000s, we got like Zombie Honeymoon, the remake of Dawn of the Dead, Zombies, Zombie Girl, which is a documentary. But there was a lot of stuff coming out in the early 2000s, and then The Walking Dead hits, and everyone's like, hey, zombies, let's make a movie. Zombie Diaries, stuff like that. So, this falls into the latter. This is called A Cadaver Christmas. And it's a later 2000s zombie film, but it's a fun film. They call it Cadaver Christmas, and half the time through the movie, two guys are constantly fighting about whether or not they are zombies or cadavers. The janitor's like, they're cadavers. The other people are like, it's zombies. It's kind of one of those funny things that happen. So this movie takes place, like I said, it's more modern, in the 2000s. It starts out at this bar, and we have Eddie and Tom. Sitting at the bar. Eddie's the bartender. Tom's the guy there. It's Christmas Eve, and there's no one around. And this guy walks in all covered in blood and schmutz, and says, "Where's the bathroom?" And goes there, washes a little bit off himself. Comes back out, and when he was in the bathroom, Eddie, the bartender, called the cops, and Sam, the police officer, shows up and says, "What's going on? Let's talk about it." And it just starts this real screwball comedy of a horror film, and it's actually kind of funny. Is it the greatest movie I've ever seen? No. Some of the acting is way over the top, but I think it's supposed to be way over the top just because of the style of movie it is. I think they took that whole idea of like Ash from Evil Dead. If Ash from Evil Dead 2 were to kill off all the people and then walk into a bar, this would be the conversation you'd be having. And so the janitor says, the guy walking the bar is the janitor for a local college, says, "Well, this is what happened, and I killed thousands of cadavers." And they go to investigate. When they leave the bar, the cop's like, "Okay, let's all get in the car." It's not a police car. It's like some 1977 Mercury Montego, or it's just like one of these 1970s pimp-mobiles, really. And they're trying to figure out why isn't the cop in a cop car. They get to the college, and things start to happen. The reason that the cops didn't get involved when the janitor was actually working, he calls 911, and 911 rings the front desk of the college security, and then they assess whether or not to call the cops. And it's a funny ongoing scene. I like this movie. Level 33 put this movie out. It's a good time. It's definitely worth watching on Christmas. Like I said, it takes place on Christmas Eve, so it's a fun movie to watch. I love these zombie weirdo, zombies, zombie comedy movies. I like Christmas themed horror films, and this kind of does a little bit of both. They throw in a lot of scratchy stuff on the screen to make the movie look old, kind of give it like that little grindhouse effect. It's a fun movie. I say check it out. If you have a copy, throw it in for Christmas this year. With that, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else. The actors are a bunch of unknowns, so I can't really say much about them. So with that, I'm the 13th Wolfman. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me what you're watching for Christmas this year, and I'm on the prowl.